What is up, guys? So for the very first time we'll be doing a ninja deck profile. I figure this is a really cool deck profile since we have ninjas here that just have such a different playstyle to different kinds of decks here, and it actually does make floodgating kind of work really well. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started with this, and I'll just explain every single card on the way there. So obviously we're going to be playing our 3 copies of Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Hanzo is just a really amazing card. Obviously he will be the one that searches out your ninjitsu art from your deck the minute it's normal summoned. However, if it is flipped or special summoned, then you can just add a ninja from your deck to your hand instead. So definitely has great playability there. One of the key cards of the deck, really. On top of that, we also have Yellow Ninja, which obviously came out in Shadows of Valhalla. It's a new support card, and if it's normal summoned or flip face up, you can actually special summon a level 4 lower ninja from your hand, which obviously will trigger off Hanzo's effect. Of course, it's going to be very different and dependent on what you're trying to search for with Hanzo's effect. It could search for 2 different things, however, you had to summon him in very different ways. So, as a result, Yellow Ninja actually kind of facilitates the secondary effect of Hanzo here. So, definitely very nice, and of course, they're both ninjas, so they can go for your our new Link monster, as well as both being level 4s, you could go for rank 4 XCs monsters as well. The next card we're playing is 2 Upstart Goblin. Now this is definitely very interesting because I've had some ninja deck profiles where I've played 3 of these, but at the same time I figured I might as well just stick to 2 of these instead, because the thing is this, you have to discard some trap cards, and the fact that it has to work in that particular way where you need another card to help it out, it doesn't put it as of much importance as Hanzo or Yellow Ninja here, and as a result I just feel like Golden Ninja has a better spot at 2 for now, but of course that could easily change in the future. It's just going with it right now. But moving on, we're playing Twilight Ninja Getsuga, the Shogun. The reason why I'm playing this card is because it just special summons back 2 ninjas from the graveyard. I just think that's really amazing. I mean, all you have to do here is really just tribute off 1 ninja monster, and then you could just summon him out. So his conditions are definitely a lot easier, and all you have to do is just switch him to defense, and then you can bring out 2 ninjas from your graveyard. I think that's really amazing, allowing you to go for your Link plays, allowing you to go for your XC's plays, but ultimately, even just setting up a nice defense as you're setting up your floodgates is quite a nice thing to do here as well. So overall, Getsuga, a lot of people I've seen don't even bother playing this card anymore, but personally, I want to see it myself in this deck, so I'm choosing to play at least 2 copies of it. Of course, we are playing the ninjitsu art cards, and as a result, we're going to need some sort of protection, and I figure White Dragon Ninja is definitely a really great card for that. White Dragon Ninja is obviously one of the original ones that came out a long time ago, but it basically can protect your spells and traps from actually being destroyed by card effects. Of course, there's cards that can just banish now, and there are also cards that can just send to the grave. But then again, there are also people who still play cards that just pop different cards, destroying, Twin Twisters, etc., different things like that, and I think White Dragon Ninja just protects all those cards very finely as well. And the thing is this, if your ninjitsu art of summoning cards are actually destroyed, then you lose the monster itself as well. So having White Dragon Ninja there as an additional protection is definitely quite nice to have as well. On top of that, we're also playing 2 copies of Dark Simorgh. Dark Simorgh is just a really great card, prevents your opponent from being able to set any cards, and at the same time, together with the Anti-Spell Fragrance, produces a really deadly combo that just prevents your opponent from doing pretty much anything there. The only thing they can rely on is monster effects, and well, we're obviously going to be working on dealing with our opponent's monsters as well. So moving on, we're playing 2 copies of Twilight Ninja Kargan, and I might as well just put it together here as well with 2 copies of Twilight Ninja Jogan. These 2 are pretty much the pendulums. Firstly, scale 1 and 10 makes it very easy to just pendulum summon any of your ninjas out, so definitely really awesome. But on top of that, they also do have their own effects. Well, For Kargan, the monster effect isn't particularly amazing, so I'm not even going to bother with that. It's more so its pendulum effect, which can just boost your ninjas up by 1,000 during the damage step. So it's definitely quite nice there. And for Jogan, ironically, his monster effect is actually the one we want to use, where he could actually just reveal a ninjutsu art to special summon himself out. So having that free option to special summon is definitely quite nice as well, allowing you to further accelerate your plays to go into your Link monster. To end things off, we're playing the one copy of Yellow Dragon Ninja. I feel like this card is definitely a very interesting card that we've been playing. Of course, it works for the Super Transformation because it's a dinosaur monster, but I've been testing it out at 1, and it's also your biggest beatstick at 3,000. Together with the Kargan's effect as well, you could also boost them to 4,000, which I think is definitely quite decent as a monster here. So yeah, and the fact that you could also destroy 2 spell traps on the field as well is definitely quite nice. But that's pretty much it for the monsters. Let's move on to spells. Alright, so onto the spells. We're playing 2 copies of Hidden Village of Ninjutsu Art. I think this card's a really amazing card to actually be able to protect your ninjas from actually being destroyed by anything. So as a result, I'm choosing to play 2 of them simply because most of the time your opponent won't care too much about this card, and as a result, I'm just gonna have it there just in case one of them gets destroyed. But if you play the second one anyway, I doubt your opponent will really be fixated on actually destroying this card. Not to mention, I doubt they really will destroy this card considering how many floodgates you're actually playing in this deck here. I mean, we're playing Anti-Spell Fragrance, which is pretty much going to stop our opponents already, and together that combos off with the Dark Simorgh, your opponent will definitely have a hard time getting rid of this, let alone your other cards as well. So as a result, I think 2's more than enough. It's not a key card in the deck, but it is still a searchable card, so 2 copies is definitely enough there. No need for terraforming. Next, we have 3 copies of Ninjutsu Art Notebook. This card pretty much just searches out any of your Ninjutsu Art cards, including the field spell, and all you have to do is just send a ninja monster from your hand to the graveyard. So if you happen to have any extra ninjas that you don't need anymore, then feel free to just send it away with Notebook, which is just a really amazing card to actually have. You definitely got to play 3 of those. I've been playing this deck ever since it came out in I've been playing this deck ever since it came out in Dark Illusion, which introduced Notebook. So I just felt, oh, that was really awesome, but I just never did a deck profile on it. But moving on, we're playing 3 copies of Armor Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy, basically your Pot of Greed, and also a pseudo magic planter as well, where you essentially have a lot of dead cards on the board on the back row, and you just have to get rid of them somehow. And Armor Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy definitely does the job there, and as a result, you just draw 2 cards out of it as a reward as well. So definitely quite nice to actually have 3 copies of this, easily just searchable out of Notebook. I mean, there's the easy combo where you just summon out Grandmaster Hanzo. Hanzo will search out Notebook, and then you activate Notebook. Notebook will send an additional ninja monster to the graveyard where you could actually just search for Alchemy. You activate Alchemy, destroying your Notebook, and then you get to draw 2 cards. So basically, with Hanzo, as well as another random ninja to discard from your hand as fodder, you basically got a free Pot of Greed right there. So definitely quite nice there, something for you guys to actually consider. Of course, with the 2 Getsuga, they are level 8, so sometimes we don't need them all. So we have trade-in as well, just to help facilitate some more draw power here. I decided actually not to play Allure of Darkness because I felt like that we are actually playing a bit more variety in these different attributes here. With Yellow Ninja being a wind and also Upstart Ninja being a light as well. Not to mention we're not playing too many monsters as well, and I just feel like Allure of Darkness isn't really worth playing in this particular deck. However, what I am playing instead is Magic Planter, which is basically allowing me to send my continuous trap cards to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. So definitely a really great card to also facilitate draw power here. Now, Interestingly enough, despite the fact that this format is not particularly nice to trap cards, we are actually playing a heavy amount of trap cards. So we're playing Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation. Obviously, this can bring out your White Dragon Ninja as well as your Yellow Dragon Ninja because they meet the requirements, either Dragon, Dinosaur, or Sea Serpent. So definitely a great variety of choices there, and if it gets stuck on the field there, then Magic Planter or Armor Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy can definitely get rid of it, and you just get 2 cards. We're also playing 2 copies of Ninjutsu Art of Transformation, basically to go into your Dark Simorgh here, and as a result, it's mostly the card I like to just go for if I have Anti-Spell Fragrance already in the hand. For a bit of defense, I am playing 2 copies of Armor Ninjutsu Art of Freezing. I think it's just a great card to really just, firstly, it negates your opponents, and also it just sticks there on the field, so overall, if you draw into Magic Planter or Armor Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy, you can get rid of it, and it pretty much becomes a bit of a small fodder as well to just protect, to actually draw cards, so it's quite nice. We're playing 1 Ninjutsu Art of Decoy, so this card is, it's not particularly the best card. I would actually prefer you guys to play Shadow Ceiling instead, but this card pretty much just protects you by battle, so it's not bad there. I'm just testing it out for now. We're also playing 1 copy of Ninjutsu Art of Mirage Transformation. This card's really interesting. There's actually a combo that you could actually use to actually kill off your opponents. In fact, I'm not really going to bother making a combo video for this, but you could essentially use Super Transformation to get rid of one of your opponent's monsters as well as your own ninja. And then you go for your whatever monster you want, so like White Dragon Ninja or something like that. But then you also have Ninjutsu Art of Transformation, which you can activate to, you know, take one of your opponent's monsters. And then you have Ninjutsu Art of Transformation here as well. It's basically like, if you have all 3 of these and you're able to activate them on the turn you do your battle phase, it's a potential OTK there, but I'm sure you guys can easily figure that out. I mean, it's not particularly difficult combo to figure out here. I mean, pretty simple, and it's like just you're following the cards here and what they're actually doing. We're playing the 1 copy of Ninjutsu Art of Rust Mist. Rust Mist is really nice. Just to halve your opponent's monster's attack is definitely quite nice as well. So yeah, I'm just putting it in there. And to end things off, we're playing 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. Obviously, with the Dark Simorgh, combos off really well. You guys are probably wondering why I'm not playing Shadow Ceiling. Firstly, I don't have that card, and secondly, I think that Shadow Ceiling is a very situational card. Firstly, you have to actually get rid of monsters, and the minute that Shadow Ceiling actually leaves the field, the opponent's monsters come back. So as a result, I'm just not willing to actually take the risk right now. However, if you do wish to play Shadow Ceiling in your deck, then feel free to take out 1 Freezing and the Decoy, and then you could throw in 2 copies of Shadow Ceiling into this deck, which will allow you to change up a few things just slightly differently here. But overall, this is pretty much for the main deck, so let's move on to the extra deck. Alright, so onto the extra deck, we're obviously going to be playing 2 copies of our Ninja Grandmaster Saizo, our new Link monster. Basically, you just set a Ninjutsu Art spell trap directly from your deck, so it's definitely really nice. It is a hard once per turn, meaning if you make 2 of these in the same turn, then you can't use the effects again. You just can only use it that one time, but of course it also protects your monsters as well. So yeah, or rather this card particularly can't be destroyed unless if it's been pointing to other ninja cards as well, meaning every single turn that you're able to keep him on the field, you could actually just set more ninjutsu art cards, which is definitely very nice. We're playing the Wee Witch's Apprentice, just another option that we could actually go for here. We do lack a certain bit of power. For Link 4s, we're playing a Topologic Bomber Dragon, not too bad of a card. Griffin, again, works well just as a floodgate for monster effects. We're obviously playing the Phoenix and Cerberus. We have the space, so definitely well worth playing in the deck. We're also playing the Utopia package because, again, rank 4, sometimes it's just difficult to get over your opponent's monsters. Having Utopia there sometimes even helps you end the game on certain aspects. We're playing 1 Tornado Dragon to destroy more of our opponent's spells and traps, particularly their field spells. We have Castell, Abyss Dweller. I think Abyss Dweller has definitely become one of the more relevant cards for this particular format, so I hope that you guys are actually incorporating it into every single deck that you could possibly put it in. We're obviously going to be playing the Blade Armor Ninja, allowing you to actually attack twice, and it just requires 2 level 4 warrior monsters, so the fact that your whole deck is meant to be ninjas definitely makes sense here. And to end things off, we're playing the Time Thief Redoer, definitely a really nice card to actually put in, allowing you to just do a lot of things here. It's starting to become one of those more popular rank 4s that you could actually incorporate in this deck. But that's pretty much it for this deck profile, so I hope you guys actually enjoy this. You know, one thing I actually did realize is that throughout my whole deck profile, I didn't realize that I was missing reinforcement of the army, so that's definitely a really odd thing there. So definitely remember to put in a reinforcement of the army into here. Not too big of a deal if it's already exceeding 40 cards, because I believe this deck here is already a 42 card deck, so adding in a reinforcement of the army is definitely something I would recommend. I was really odd and curious as to why it wasn't in there, but I think it was in one of my other decks, so yeah, just add that in. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I know that this deck profile is particularly longer than you might expect, but it's a brand new deck profile that I haven't done something on before, so I just had to explain more of the cards. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.